Okay, so I know we just got acquainted with the last place, but I was already in the process of moving out when I filmed that. And so let's go ahead and get acquainted with the new place. I'm really happy to have you over, and so let's just take a quick look around. Okay, so when you first come in the front door, we have this big heavy coffee table, which I'm actually using as like an entryway bench, so you can kind of put on your shoes, take them off, etc. And a coat rack and that sort of thing, and of course a rug. It has this nice little corner. I think it was an old dining room before they added on a long time ago, but we're calling this craft corner. My kids have a tendency to make a big mess, get out their, stuff to color and all this sort of stuff, and then they just kind of leave it out, and then we would be stressed at dinner time where are we going to sit, that sort of thing. And so having a place where they can kind of get their stuff out and then they don't have to worry about it so much is actually really nice. So I could even put together like sewing projects and other stuff and not have to worry about putting my sewing machine away every day and that sort of thing. So it's really nice. Here right off the hallway is the first bathroom. This is actually the kids' bathroom, and it needs updated. It's functional, but this yellow countertop is quite a bit dated. A nice little mirror, of course, and a tub shower combo, and I'm sure you recognize the shower curtain. It's no longer being used to hide food in a food cabinet in our kids' bedroom. It's being used as its designed purpose. A coat closet, small linen closet, and another closet. My last house had exactly 0 of these, so they're very much appreciated. This is the first bedroom, and it is actually being used as a guest bedroom and office. And the next bedroom is my kids' bedroom, which they clearly did not spread their bed today. We haven't fully set up their room all the way, so it's kind of, I don't know, still not all the way set up and whatnot. Here's my favorite part. There is actually 2 beds here. What? A bed for each of my children. So this is a trundle bed, so the bottom one rolls out when they want to use it, and then there's of course the top one. However, before everybody asks, why are you using an office, and then why do you have another separate, room for both of your kids? Well, I knew that they would get upset, probably lonely being by themselves, and so what we chose to do instead was just to put them in the same room. And at first, the first 2 or 3 nights, they actually slept on separate beds, and then they were right back in bed with one another. So they're sisters, they're close even, they're really, really good friends, and they like being together. So I knew that having separate bedrooms was going to be a shock to them. So that's why I went ahead and chose to give them the same room, because it's not only hard for them to even get used to their own beds, but how much harder would it be to get used to their own bedroom? So that is there in the event that they want their own rooms later on down the road, but that's just not what's going to work for them right now, and I'm okay with that. And this is our room. My husband and I's bed, of course, and these really nice dressers. We got a ton of furniture for free from my grandpa's garage. When he died, we put a bunch of furniture in the garage, and it just kind of sat there, and my brothers took what they wanted, my parents took what they wanted of it, and then there was a bunch left over, and so I kind of got last pickings on it, but I still got some pretty nice stuff. So these are some really nice cherry wood dressers, and one of my favorite things about this is that there's actually a master bath right off of the master bedroom here, so no more having to go downstairs in order to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. The walk-in master closet, which I used to feel like I had a crazy amount of clothes, and now that we've moved in here, it just doesn't feel like it anymore. I mean, this is like all that we have here, and there's tons of extra space. And when we were looking at this place before we bought it, they had it totally packed full, so they had way more than we even have. So this is the first living room. Honestly, I'd rather not talk too much about this room because I don't really like it. I don't like having a second living room. What I really wanted in a house was one living room, and the fact that this house had 2 of them was kind of disappointing to me. So we're still working out what we're even going to do with this room. So yeah, this is sort of what it is right now, and we'll figure it out down the road. Okay, so this is the laundry room. It has a ton of cabinets and storage space. So we have our chest freezer in here as opposed to the basement where it was before. Our biracial couple, as one of my funny YouTube friends said, our washer and our dryer. Of course, like I said, there's lots of cabinet space. The dryer heat diverter, which helps heat our house with our dryer, which works awesome. I highly recommend looking into that if you have a dryer and you use it. Here is a double sink. This is a kitchen sink, but they put it in the laundry room, and this thing has been excellent. whenever we have, you know, sloppy messes we need to use and don't want to make a mess of our kitchen sink. This has been really helpful, or color fasting clothes, etc. But these cabinets are all unfinished, so we'll have to finish them at some point. More storage, water heater, of course. This thing, I just got this magnetic tool holder from Harbor Freight. You guys watch out for those coupons. They give away some cool stuff. Of course, my cat box, and then look at all these cabinets and all this counter space. Super helpful. This is the garage door. This is sort of our entrance. The other one we mainly use for guests and things like that. When they come, they can hang their coats and stuff here. So we have our own bench for putting on and taking off our own shoes, and our own coat rack over here. And then I have a table on the side, which kind of looks like a mess, but it is not. That is my returns. Is anybody else bad at remembering returns? Well, that's all stuff I need to take back to stores, and so it's right there by the door, so that when I'm going somewhere, I'll actually remember to take the thing back to the store instead of just leaving it like I used to. This is the dining room. We got this dining table for free, again, Grandpa's garage. My husband doesn't like it. He thinks it's a little too small. I say it's totally fine because its price tag was fantastic. It has this really cool mantle up top there, and then this fireplace. I didn't really like this at first. It's kind of dated. It has this rock look to it, and I don't know, I just didn't like it at first. But now that we're living here, it's really grown on me. It's actually like a piece of art. Somebody spent a lot of time making it to where all these rocks fit together oh so perfectly. And, these rocks really say a lot about this, area of the country. These are Colorado rocks, and so this is totally what you would find here in nature. So bringing some of that outdoor nature inside is actually kind of neat. And then this fireplace, this is a gas fireplace. It used to be a wood fireplace, but then they converted it to gas. And again, I was disappointed at first because, wood is free, gas is not. So I was kind of hoping that maybe we could convert it back to wood. But now that we've had it and I see the convenience that gas offers, I kind of actually appreciate it. So I think we'll add a wood stove somewhere else. But for now, we're using this and it actually works out really well. We keep the pilot light lit. For those of you who don't have gas, obviously, you just turn the little wheel and look, it's like instant fire. It's pretty cool. It's really grown on me as well, so I really like this. This is the kitchen. It has this side-by-side fridge, which we've never had one of those before, but I think it holds more food than the top and bottom style we used to have. Lots of counter space. I love it. Our last house had a reverse osmosis water filter. This one doesn't have room for one, and so instead what we've done is we have a Berkey, and then all these counter and cabinet space, a full-size dishwasher, which, believe it or not, a 24-inch dishwasher isn't that much bigger than an 18-inch, but it fits a ton more dishes, so that's really nice. And then look at all this counter space. Totally nice kitchen, very large, and I really like it. Oh, and the sink. That sink is really big and deep, so that'll definitely come in handy when we have stuff to can and, whatnot come harvest seasons. A pantry, a real life pantry where there's tons of storage space for everything we could possibly want to put in it. Yay! All right, let's take a quick look outside. First, when you step out, there's this tiny little deck. It is not big enough, I think. We need to build it a little bigger over back in this corner. Plus, it's made out of this poison green wood, so I can't wait to get rid of this. This house has central AC. I have never had AC ever in my whole life, so we're going to see what that's like. Hopefully it's not too expensive. And if not, I'll be finding some alternatives. Some cool little pine trees. My property line is the fence, so I don't own this field. It's a whole acre over there, which would be really cool, but that's just way too expensive. Somebody just bought it a year ago, and it cost him over $100,000. $100,000. There's no water, there's no septic, no sewer, no electric, no gas, nothing. It's just a bare piece of land with no utilities, and it was $100,000. Oh, real estate's too expensive here. Okay, so we have this really big, cool cottonwood tree. I can't wait to put some swings in this for my kids. Back here in this back corner, excuse the mess, we have our temporary chicken yard. This is a nice little chain link fence, and then their chicken coop that we had in the last place. This is a shed that's going to hold all of our good garden stuff. Can't wait to get our stuff unloaded. It's all still in boxes. It's the only thing we haven't unpacked yet. And a nice little temporary area for my little friends. Oh, Cammie, you guys want a snack? I'll bring you some cabbage. So Poppy, Daisy, LG, and Cammy all stayed with us, and so we are going to keep the 4 of them. But the area they're in now is actually going to be the garden. So my plan is to get rid of a bunch of this rock, or at least move it somewhere else, and then make the yard bigger over here. I don't know if it's going to go all the way across or if it's just going to go halfway or something. And then make one yard for the goats and chickens, and then have houses for each over here. And then this whole area over here, where there's rock, of course, we're going to have to move. Cut down a couple of these Russian olive trees. I hate those things. They have all these like thistles or thorns that are pokey. Anyway, this whole thing is going to be my garden area, so I'm excited about that. And then lastly, back here, right up against the house. Now this, what we're facing right now, is facing north. So this is the south side of the house. They have this whole little like cutout in the dirt right up against the house, up against this window. So this is actually where I'm hoping to put the greenhouse. Move all of these rocks, and then this whole area right here can be a really big greenhouse, way bigger than the last greenhouse we had. I'm gonna probably estimate probably about double, but we'll see. We'll see what we can afford and what kind of materials we end up finding. So we'll get to be able to hopefully do some direct vent solar heat, but that's gotta wait because, well, that's expensive. So, but that's the plans. We need to put in some fruit trees and some other stuff to make it into a homestead, because it's just an average kind of backyard. All right, prepare yourselves, guys. This is something that has been floating around in my head for a really long time, and now it really exists in real life, like for real. Anyway, living rooms and kitchens are the 2 most important rooms in a house for me. Kitchens are important, obviously, because we do a lot of cooking there. We cook almost every meal at home, and so we need a lot of space in that regard. But living rooms are also very important because we live there a lot, and I also homeschool, as many of you know, so we do a lot of homeschool at home. I work from home, and so, we spend a fair amount of time in our living rooms, and so I'm really excited to have not only the living room of my dreams, but probably a living room that's even better than I envisioned. So are you ready? Look at the size of this thing. It is huge. It is way bigger than a living room I would have expected we would have been able to have, for real. Like, look at all this floor space. Oh my gosh. So our big giant couch, of course. All my, silly stupid stuff over there in the shelf. This new ottoman that we just got from Black Friday shopping. My kitty cat, Mr. Whiskers. Our exercise equipment, which we get to have out. That is something that's been really important to me. I really wanted the exercise equipment to be out and available for us to be able to use pretty much anytime we wanted to. So we don't have to fold them up all the time. We can just leave them out and down and use them anytime we wish. A nice little shelf where we have all of our weights and other stuff, which I'm hoping to add a little bit more to it. Here after the new year is when I think that sort of stuff goes on sale the cheapest. And then here's my latest creation. This is a desk that we use for the treadmill. So I keep it in with this little strap, and it just comes right off. So it's just a normal ordinary treadmill, and then I can put my desk on here, and then I can put my laptop here, and then I can be standing here walking and do whatever I normally do on the internet. I could be responding to emails. I can be editing this video. I will probably be editing this video right here while walking on this treadmill desk, and so I don't have to sit and do all that stuff anymore. We can be healthy and be walking while we're doing it. And here's another cool thing about it. I made it and I designed it so that it could be used on either the treadmill or the bike. So we can pop it on either one, and I could be riding the bike and doing all that stuff, or walking on the treadmill and doing all that stuff. So yay, super excited about that. Cool mirror I just got on another Black Friday thing. Those comparatively were like $70 to $100, and Walmart had it for like $30, I think, which was really, really good price. Our bookshelf, the chair we used to have in our old living room, another bathroom, so the third bathroom. So our portion of the house is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, which is nice. All the school supplies, our tiny little TV. They made this cutout for like a giant, who knows, 60-inch TV or something like that, which we don't have, so that's not gonna happen. Our antenna, of course, since we're sticking with the frugal TV, and then a nice little rocking chair, and of course some stuff for my cats there. Tons of space. Like seriously, we get our party speaker going. We can have like big fat dance parties here and have tons of room without getting in each other's way. Or we could be doing like some exercise videos or something like that. We can get up on YouTube and put on the TV, and me and my girls can not have to be stepping on each other. Or the ceilings. The ceilings are so high that we don't have to worry about hitting the ceiling or smashing my hand on the ceiling fan like I used to all the time. So this is great. I am in love. I love this living room. And then the last portion of the house, I can't actually show you. There is a door here, and on the other side of this door there is another door that leads from the outside, and then it goes upstairs, and above this section of the house here there is an apartment. Why an apartment, many of you may ask? Well, I really want to talk about that, but in the interest of keeping this video from getting too long, I'm going to have to put that into another video. But suffice it to say that upstairs there is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment that we have rented out right now. We have tenants currently living there. And the cool thing that I like about this is that it's above this kitchen and the living room area. So when they make noise at night, or if they make noise at night, I have no idea, because our bedrooms are all the way on the other side of the house. So we don't have to worry so much about when they make noise or when we're making noise, that sort of thing, because it's so separated. So having an apartment, or having some sort of rental potential in our next house when we were shopping for a house was sort of important to me, not so much my husband. He was very reluctant about that. But once I crunched the numbers with him and I showed him what having the apartment actually does for us, he was on board with it. So anyway, this has a good configuration to be able to have an apartment in it so that it's not too inconvenient for us to have to hear them all the time. It's not too inconvenient for them. And then we have totally separate entrances. They have their own section for parking. They have their own section for a yard. And then they have their own entrance. We don't even hardly have to, interact if we didn't want to. So it works out perfectly, and honestly, I'm really excited to tell you about what that actually does for us, financially speaking. But again, I can't talk about it right now. That'll have to be in an upcoming video. So hopefully you enjoyed the house tour. Thanks for coming over again and, getting acquainted with the new place. Yeah, I'm really excited to share some of the different financial things about it, what we did with our last house, even some reflections. I was hoping to do more commentary in this video, but honestly, again, just to keep it from getting too long. So I'll compare like what it was like living in the small house and then trying to move up to the bigger one. Are we excited? Is it better? Are we overwhelmed? That sort of thing. What about the heat bills? That sort of thing. So even some other specifics like square footage and all that sort of stuff. I'll be sharing that in the reflections video that'll be coming up here very soon. So thanks for taking a look around, and I'm Frugal Green Girl, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.